Hi, I'm Terry Mullane with Parks Lincoln at Tampa and Parks Motor Group. Super excited to be here today to talk about the Crisis Center at Tampa Bay, who, if maybe a well-kept secret to some folks in Tampa Bay, but if you've ever been in crisis or had a family member that's been in crisis, you know about them because they're here for you. Carol and I were fortunate enough to get involved in the Crisis Center at Tampa Bay when we first came into Tampa in 2007. And we don't think it was a coincidence at all. We think it was meant to be. We've been involved now for about 14 years and joined in our efforts here with the Parks family, Ron Parks, and all Parks Motor Group. Our commitment to the Crisis Center is steadfast. I was fortunate enough and privileged to be on the board of directors for a period of time where I learned just how deep the Crisis Center is involved in Tampa Bay, and also learned in 2009 just how the Crisis Center readies themselves. When difficult times hit, the Crisis Center is there for everybody involved. And when COVID hit, the Crisis Center was no exception. They went to work, and we were here to support them all the way. So here at the Crisis Center at Tampa Bay today, we've got some great stories to tell you from the frontline workers who suited up and are doing such a great job in our community, and that we're so proud of and so grateful to have on our team.
I'm Clara Reynolds, President and CEO at the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay. I want to thank Parks Lincoln so very much for the opportunity to share the work that we've been doing here at the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay during COVID-19. Our mission is to ensure that no one in our community has to face crisis alone. And I think we could all agree that there has been no bigger crisis for our entire nation than COVID-19. Here in the local Tampa Bay area, the Crisis Center really responded very quickly and found that we had to pivot in a variety of ways to meet the needs of our community members during this very unusual and stressful time.
We were lucky enough when the pandemic first hit to kind of transition into teletherapy services, which we had never offered before. We were able to go ahead and transition to that within the span of about a week. So we really didn't have any disruption with services. We were able to continue servicing the community, which we're very thankful for, and haven't really missed a beat with that.
Shortly after Carol and I got involved in the Crisis Center at Tampa Bay, we learned of TransCare, the ambulance operation, which plays a great role in supporting and funding a lot of the services that we provide here at the Crisis Center at Tampa Bay. So for us to have the opportunity to service those ambulances, keep them on the road, and the relationship we've established over those years has just been tremendous for us and a great honor to be a partner in servicing the ambulances and keeping TransCare operational every single day for those people in Tampa Bay.
It's been a wonderful ride, but recently in the last year with the pandemic, it's been a different shift. We've had hardships, we've had successes. It's been crazy. We've done everything from mobile testing to doing standbys by vaccine sites, so we've kind of just gone along with whatever is needed from us by the community. It's gotten quiet on the call side and the call volume, and it's gotten very heavy recently, just because of the different kind of illnesses, traumas, that plus the COVID-related stuff. It's been wild.
I've been here at the Crisis Center for just over 3 years. And the last year for us has been pretty difficult with the onset of COVID, especially with 211 being a community resource. So in the last year, we've seen our calls triple, and we've had to deploy our whole staff to remote work, and being able to balance making sure that my staff had their needs met as well as the community has been probably one of the most difficult things, and making sure that we were able to get to all of those folks in need. A lot of questions, concerns, and being able to navigate that as well as provide the emotional support for those that we work with as well has been a bit of a balancing act and kind of probably what will be, I'd say, the most difficult thing that we've had over the last year.
One of the reasons why we so love Parks Lincoln is that we run a 911 ambulance service. Because again, there is no bigger crisis than when you call 911 in a medical emergency. All of our vehicles are serviced at Parks Lincoln, and this partnership that we've had with them has been unbelievably incredible for our community. In COVID, though, specifically, we really had to pivot because surprisingly, individuals didn't want to call 911 in a medical emergency. They didn't want to go to hospitals. But we recognized that there were things that our community needed, particularly around COVID testing.
And thank you so much to the Lincoln Motor Company for giving us the opportunity to partner with us today to recognize those folks that we've come to know over the years and work so closely with. They deserve it. Without them, the community would not be in the shape it is today in battling together the COVID fight.